So guys, as you can see on my screen right now, I'm already logged into the Google account, Google Analytics account of Ambrose Solar. So this is the website on which we were working in the last class. So this is an under construction website, but yet I have created a Google Ads account, Google Analytics account, and Search Console account for this. So as you can see, there are only 4 users right now, just 4 sessions. So not much data to check, but I do have various other websites where I can show you what are the statistics like. So since this is a fresh one, so I just want to teach you the basic steps here, and the further analysis we can do on a different account. So just request all of you to log into your analytics side by side. Kirti, you'll have to check if you have activated the plugin. So just make sure that it's activated and configured along with your website, and insights will start showing in your dashboard. So just check in your dashboard again, or probably you can just reinstall the plugin in case you're facing a challenge. All right, so guys, the first step which I'm going to take you through today is the Google Analytics admin dashboard. So let's look at all the features of the Google Analytics admin dashboard. So for this purpose, you'll have to log into your analytics account. So once you're logged in, you'll have to go to this admin panel. So currently we're on the home page of Google Analytics. So what we're going to do now is we'll go to admin, which is this settings wheel right over here. Okay. So once you reach your dashboard, your admin dashboard, there are 3 options. One is the account heading. Then you have property, which is number 2. And number 3, you have the option for view. Now let me first give you the basic meaning of all these settings. So the account setting is basically to switch your Google Analytics account. So if in case you have one Gmail ID, you can actually create multiple Google Ads accounts or Google Analytics accounts on the same Gmail ID. And under every particular account, you can have 50 properties, up to 50 properties. So currently we have just one property right now, which is Ambrose Solar. But if we want, we can add 49 more similar properties. So let's see how many number of accounts we can create under Google Analytics with single Gmail ID. All right, so they haven't really mentioned exactly the number of accounts which you can create, but normally people just have one account, but they haven't really mentioned on the website how many maximum number of accounts you can create. However, the maximum number of properties which you can have under each account is 50, and under 50, each property you can have up to 25 views. So I'm going to come to views now. So here we are. So account is basically just another sort of a analytics ID. Property is basically the website or app which you are tracking, and view is basically a filtered view of your dashboard. So for example, if I take you to the home page, so currently this is my default view. So whatever is visible on the home page right now, let's wait for it to load properly. So this is my default view right now, as you must be able to see. So you can see the name of this view is all website data. So analytics account is Ambrose India. This is my account ID below. Then the property is again your account ID followed by property number, which is 1. And the view has a separate code which implies that this is the default view. It has all the data of my website. So everything on my site is whatever is going on in analytics, it is visible right here. Now, some people might want to track data coming from subdomains or let's say subfolders separately. They might want to view their mobile traffic in a separate stream. They might want to view their ads data in a separate stream apart from the main website data. So, in case you want to create such separate screens, then you have to build a view. So you can have up to 25 views for each property. So we're going to build a view later on in this session or maybe in the next session. But today, firstly, we're looking at all the features. So I hope the difference between this account, property, and view is clear to all of you. So you could please confirm by typing yes into the chat window. All right, great. So let's move to the next point now. So under account, the first option is account settings. So let's click on account settings. So this will basically contain your account ID, your account name. So account name is something which we set initially when we are configuring our Gmail ID for the first time with Google Analytics. So in case you want, you can change the name of the account. You can change the country of business. Then you have your data sharing settings. So in case you want, you can just remove all these options. They're not really necessary, but if you want, you can just go through them separately to understand how they can add value to your account. And that's all. In the next option, you have account user management. So under account user management, you can actually add another admin just the way you can add another admin to your Facebook page. You click on the plus sign. So I'm going to add user. You can add multiple users also at the same time, but I'm going to add a single user. So what I'm going to do now is I'll enter my personal email ID. Under permissions, you can select what sort of permissions you want to assign. So normally, read and analyze is the most basic form of permission involved in case you just want someone to be able to view the data. But in case you want them to build funnels to create views and manage the entire account at an administrative level, then you will have to check all the options. Now there's something very interesting in Google Analytics. So when you add an administrator, you might revoke the permission of managing users. So in that case, that person will be able to operate like an admin, but he will never be able to remove you as an admin or remove or add anybody else into the account. So in case you select this, then that person will have say about 90% authority, but not that 10% leverage of adding or removing users. So now this person can edit, can create and edit accounts, properties, views, filters, goals, etc. Collaborate can create and edit shared assets like dashboards or annotations. Read and analyze can view report and configuration data. So I'm going to give all the permissions to this email ID, and then you just need to click on add. So you can see another account has been added. So let's view the user's account details. Okay. So I'm just going to close this now. So once I confirm uh, my acceptance of becoming an admin for this account, that moment my name would also start showing here. So let me just check my email. So I have been granted access. So I have just received a mail on my personal email ID saying that you have been granted access to the following Google Analytics account. So now I just need to simply access my email ID to get all the details of this particular account. I'll just show you how it really works. So this is the sort of email you will receive. So once you click here, you will reach the main account. So you can see I'm logged into my personal ID now, and it is showing me all website data for Ambrose Solar. So in case I click here, these are all the different analytics accounts which I have access to right now. So you can see there is EduVoice, there is another one called Manjeet Shergill, then there is Motherland Hospital, then you have What After College, Wing Viral Media, many different accounts are added here, right? So in case if I want to see Motherland Hospital, so under this again you can see there are different views. Like you have all website data, master blog data, then you have Google Ads only view, then master view full, which is basically a copy of the all website data. So in case you click on it, let's see the results. So this is how it's going to show up. So you can see bounce rate, number of sessions, number of users, traffic, medium, everything is visible here. Then sessions by country, mobile, desktop, tablet comparison, Google Ads data. So it's also showing how the ads are performing. Then showing the data of top pages. So all the details are visible here. So we're going to come back to this. Now let's look at all filters. So guys, here basically you can add a few filters in your data. So I'll tell you basically what this means. So sometimes when you make use of let's say Google Tag Manager to configure your analytics account, what it does is it's going to track your admin sessions also. So for example, if I go to this website ambrose.co.in/wp-admin. So I'm going to log into the website now. So as you can see, I'm in the dashboard of this website, WordPress dashboard. So whenever I'm logged inside the website and I'm trying to make some changes, do you think it is feasible that my sessions, my Google Analytics sessions should be counted whenever you're logged in as a, let's say, as a admin of the website or a manager of the website? Of course not, right? So like Swapnil has answered very correctly. So in this case, what you need to do is you need to set up certain filters. Okay. So currently, this example which I have taken up, it does not really relate to, I mean, the filter equation because the plugin which we're using, this Monster Insights, it automatically weeds out all the dashboard, sorry, what do you call it, administrative sessions out of your reports. So you don't have to manually do it. So I'll show you how it works in the plugin. So I'll go to settings now. So under settings, let's go to the setup wizard. So I'm gonna skip and keep the connection. Somehow getting stuck at this page. Okay, so no need to go to the launch wizard. You can just come to advanced settings. So here you can see allow these user roles to see reports. So this is basically for the plugin dashboard. Now this is the point which I was talking about. Exclude these users, these user roles from tracking. Users that have at least one of these roles will not be tracked into Google Analytics. So you can see by default administrator and editor are configured using this plugin. So we don't need to really set up filters. But if I take you to the other website which I was showing you, which is Motherland, here you might see something different. So I'll just go to Motherland Hospital once. Let's go to the admin dashboard, all filters. So you can see there are WP admin and WP login, two options which I have created. So let's go to WP admin. So it says whenever somebody is going to be logged into WP admin, that person will be removed from the data. So as you can see, the condition is exclude traffic to the subdirectories that begin with WP admin. So whenever someone's writing a post, editing a page, or just logged into the WordPress user dashboard, that person will not be tracked. Similarly, let's look at the other filter which we have created. I guess it's WP login.php. Let's just quickly have a look. So here we go. Yeah, so it's exactly what I was guessing. So again, it says exclude filter field request URI WP login.php. Now, guys, for this particular thing, let me remind you again, it's only applicable in the case when you have not used the Monster Insights plugin to configure your dashboard, your analytics dashboard. So what I'm going to do now is I'm sending you a tutorial video in the chat window as to how you can do it, because it might contain a little technical language which is meant for developers. So you really don't need to get into details of that as a marketer. You just need to follow the steps. So this is the step-by-step tutorial. Go to your analytics and log in. If you have more than one website, select a website, click the admin option. So tutorial to remove WordPress admin from being tracked under analytics. So just copy and save this as a bookmark in your browser. So I'm also adding this to your set of notes. So guys, here are all the steps. So you can just follow these steps as they are and you will get the right solution. So you can see this person has also chosen the predefined filter type, exclude subdirectory slash WP-admin. So this subdirectory is basically this. So whatever URL, whatever page comes after slash WP-admin, that will not get tracked. So coming back, you have the WP login.php option as well. Later on, you can just go to the reporting menu, click on the behavior option on the left sidebar, and then just follow the steps, so which I can just show you later on once we move to the further steps. So I hope this part is also clear to you, how you can remove the WordPress admin in case you are not using the Monster Insights plugin, because that plugin will automatically do it for you. And in case you're using any other WordPress plugin also, that would also by default make that setting for you. So this is mainly for coded websites in case you have done the coding yourself, or in case you have configured Google Analytics using Google Tag Manager without a plugin, then in that case, this tutorial will come handy. So please confirm if you are clear with this tutorial and with the purpose of this activity. All right, perfect. So let's move to the next step now. So guys, next is change history. So change history will basically give you all the details of your account, whatever changes you have made to your account so far till date. So you can see I have added a new user, advertising features we had enabled in the previous class. Then we had created this property in the previous class. So all that activity log basically comes into this section. Then you have your rubbish bin. So the rubbish bin is basically like a recycle bin in your PC. So what it's going to do is it will quarantine all the deleted information from your account, and you can keep it for about I think 3 months. So in 3 months time it will automatically get removed permanently. Otherwise what you can do is you can just restore it using this restore button. So an example of this again I can show you on my other analytics account. So let's go to the rubbish bin. Now here, let's just wait for it to load. Okay, so I had previously discarded a couple of elements from this account, but I guess they have been removed now. So we can just skip this part. But the idea is to basically tell you that in case you delete something from your analytics account, for example, if you delete a property or you delete a view or you delete an additional account, then it will come into this rubbish bin, and from here you can just restore it with one click. All right. So let's go further now. So guys, these were all the options under admin. All right, so now let me just quickly take you through the user settings also. So in your user settings, you have your email ID, your default language, default date range, so which is set to 7 days. You can set it up to 30 days. So this default date range is basically the date range which will show your data when you open your home page. So like in my case, it's set to 7 days. So by default, it's going to show me data only for the last 7 days up till yesterday. So you can see data for last 7 days. So this is what I exactly mean by default date range. So you can just keep changing it as per your preference. I'll show you with a better example. So currently you can see data for last 7 days. If I want to compare it with my monthly performance, I can just select last 28 days. So again, you can see number of users has increased, sessions have also increased, bounce rate has gone a little down. Let's look at the data of last 90 days. So in the last 90 days, you can see about 10,000 users, 15,000 sessions have taken place, almost about 34% bounce rate. Surprisingly, the bounce rate on this hospital's website has gone really low. So can't tell you the reason precisely, but I'm guessing because most of the traffic that we're getting now, it's all relevant traffic. So people are actually browsing through different pages, and that's the reason we have managed to achieve such a good bounce rate. So let's come back to our settings. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the admin panel. So now guys, we've come to the properties option. So over here you have your property settings. So let's just click on this. Your property name, default URL, default view. So in our case, there is just one view right now, which is the standard one. So that is already selected here. Then property hit volume. So hits are again basically the traffic which you're getting on your website. Then advertising features. So if you remember, we had manually enabled demographic and interest reporting from our Google Analytics dashboard. So in case you guys haven't done it yet, then please do it. You can just do it from this option under property settings, or else you can just go to audience, and from audience reporting you will find the option to enable demographics and interest reports. Then apart from this, everything else is basically it's not really something worth knowing about, so you can just let it be. Now you have property user management, which is similar to account management. So in case you want to give permissions to specific individuals or groups related only to this property, then you can just add them by clicking this blue plus button, just like we had added my email ID at the previous step. So it's just the same thing. The only difference is that under the account settings, you are actually giving full access to the entire account, but under property settings, you are just giving access to one specific property. Now, under tracking info, you have your tracking code. So you have your tracking ID and your tracking code. So this tracking code needs to be pasted in the header of your homepage for the purpose of enabling Google Analytics synchronization with your website. Then you have data collection. Okay, so data collection will basically, first of all, allow you to collect data for display and search remarketing. So this is an important feature which all of you need to enable, because this will come handy in your Google ads. So just switch it on. Then you have advertising reporting features. So this again you need to enable because you want to view the results of your advertisements under Google Analytics as well. So just make sure you enable the remarketing and advertising reporting features and then save the settings. All right, so now let's come to data retention. So this will basically give you the option of how much data you want to save. So by default, it is 26 months. So you can go 26 months, up to 26 months back in history to find details of any activity which has taken place on your website, be it an event or be it any let's say user related activity. So if you want, you can reduce it to 14 months, you can increase it to 50 months, or you can simply set it up to never expire. So that's totally your call. So I'm going to change this to 38 months. You can change it anytime and it will just start showing you the data. So this user ID policy, it's one of the features not where you're not really supposed to focus, but let's just go through it once. The user ID lets you associate user engagement data from different devices and multiple sessions so that you can discover how users interact with your content over an extended period of time. So maybe we can just activate this. Okay, so this is going to create a user ID view. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just skipping this step. So this is a little advanced for you to understand right now. So I'm just uh, switching it off for the time being. We can just take it up later. So this enable user ID feature thing, just putting it on hold now. I mean for now. So just mentioning that this is to be discussed. So we can just discuss it in the later half of the session. So going forward, you have session settings. Now, guys, this is kind of important depending on the nature of your website. So, for example, if you have a website which is a gaming site, or something which is like an entertainment website, or a social networking website, or a videos website, then in that case you need to increase the timeline of a session. So this feature will basically allow you to set up the minimum and or sorry, I mean the session timeout settings, and you can choose a minimum of 1 minute and maximum can be 4 hours. So for example, if I come to your website and you have chosen your session timeout as 4 hours, then for the next 4 hours it will just be counted as one session. So in case if I remain on one particular screen of your website for 4 hours, then it will only be termed as one session. But by default, the session timeout settings are 30 minutes, which means every session is 30 minutes long. By default, the maximum amount of time is 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, it automatically creates another session. So depending on the nature of your site, you can just change these settings. You can just let them remain default. It's entirely up to you. It can be changed, Swapnil, of course. In case you want to change it, just make it, let's say I want to make it 1 hour, uh, 45 minutes. Then all I need to do is change this and apply the settings. In my opinion, you can just let it remain default for most of the websites because that will kind of give you very accurate analytics. So similarly, this applies to campaigns as well. So you can save data of campaigns up to 6 months. So that is the default setting. So I won't really change that. Then you have organic search sources. Now guys, this will help you in case you want to track how much traffic you are getting from different search engines. For example, if your website is operational in the United States, then in the US there are two major search engines. One is Google, the other is Bing. So Bing also has a pretty decent market share. It's about 20 to 30% of the United States market. So in that case, you might want to consider separating the data coming from organic search sources. So by default, what happens is it will just show you that it's coming from organic search. It's coming from a search engine, but it won't tell you the name of the search engine. So let's try to make that setting now. So before that, I guess we have one question by Amit. So let's just go through that. So Amit, session basically means how many times that person is visiting your website in a day. So whenever someone visits your website or they open a separate tab of your in your website, then it creates a new session by default. So whenever a new tab, new window is being opened, whenever a new person is coming to your site, every time a new session is taking place. So let's add some search engines here. So I'm gonna write Google, google.com. So just put a number here, just write 1 in query parameter. So I'm gonna write bing.com, Bing, and create. So next one will be Google India and 3. So guys, this way you can add multiple search engines. So what it's going to do is it will basically start showing you filtered data of results coming from google.com, from Google India, and from bing.com. So from all three different sources, it will not generalize them. I mean, all the results that you're getting from organic search, it won't generalize them and put them under one category, but it will send you specific information. Okay. Query parameter it's a technical terminology in development, Kirti. So basically, this is a query parameter. So whatever you see after the directory name, whatever numbers, whatever stuff you see here is basically query parameter. It's just like the UTM parameters which we had discussed in the previous class. So I'm just gonna verify my steps once. So just give me a moment, guys. Just about to share something with you. So let me show you all the list of search engines which can be added here. So guys, this is the list. So I need to actually change the query parameter. So I was just verifying my steps. So for Google, I need to add Q. So I'm going to come back to my settings. So this should be Q. Let's check for other search engines. So for Bing, again, it's Q only. And Google India is not separately available. So it says all Google search domains will be covered under just one query. So you can add Yahoo. For Yahoo, it is going to be P. So we're just going to change it now. So guys, I've shared the link in your chat window as well. Okay. So let's move to the next step now. So here we are in the settings. So next is referral exclusion list. So guys, basically in referral exclusion list, you need to enter any website from where you do not want, traffic to be registered. Now, in most cases, you normally just don't want your domain to be, a part of the referral list. Otherwise, all other sorts of websites which are, let's say, offering you a backlink or which are referring back to your website, you want all of those to be shown in your referrals. So, in most cases, I mean, but in case if you don't want, a referral coming in from a particular website, I mean, you can't literally stop the referral, but you can just stop it from being shown in your analytics report. So if that's the thing you want, then you will have to add that referral exclusion here. So for example, if I don't want traffic coming in from shergillmanjeet.com to be shown in the analytics report of ambrose.co.in, then I just need to add that domain name to the list. So you can just update this data anytime. You can just remove it from here. You can add it back. Totally up to you. Similarly, you can also add search term exclusion list. So let's say I don't want any data to be, coming in from a particular search term. Let's say Ambrose Solar. I don't want data to be shown, when people are searching for this particular term and my website is showing up in the search results. So you can just add as many keywords as you want here. So basically, whenever somebody searches for your, searches for a particular keyword related to your website and your website shows up, it will start populating that data in your analytics account. It will start showing the list of all those search terms, based on their popularity. So if there's any particular search term that you want to exclude, then you need to add it here in the search term exclusion list. Otherwise, you can just remove it or you can just leave it default. Then going forward, you have the data deletion request. So no need to get into this. So basically, I'll tell you what happens. So in your Google Analytics account, you cannot really delete the data. So there is no permanent deletion of data. For example, if you have created a view in your Google Analytics account, then you can never permanently remove it. You can just temporarily disable it and you have to create another view, right? So in case you want to weed out all the excess data which is there in your account, and if in case there is no space to add further views in your account, then you will have to manually submit a data deletion request. So if you click on it, it will ask you a few details. It will ask you what data you want to delete. Let's say I want to delete some sort of a event category. Let's say clicks on a particular button, or some action like add to cart or sign up or anything like that. Or if I want to create remove a dimension like let's say like mobile traffic, then I will have to specifically send a request. So again, not a very commonly used feature, but just giving you the details so that you can get a hang of it. So are things clear so far? All right. So parameters, Snehal, you don't really have to get into the detail of it because parameter is another word for string. So string is basically another word for code. In development language, a string is also known as a code. Like you must have heard about coding, or you might be a developer yourself. So it's a mandatory step in this you know setting which we were configuring. So to make things easy for us, Google has given us a list of different parameters based on the domain name. So what you need to do is you need to refer to this particular list, and based on this list you have to enter the parameter. So as you can see, for most of the search engines, the parameter is Q. Like for Google it is Q, for AOL it is query, for ask.fm or ask.com it is Q, then for Baidu it is WD or Word. So based on how you want to track your data, you will have to pick up the parameter using this link. So this is a Google support link which I have shared with you in the chat window. So you guys can just save it somewhere, or you can just keep a copy of this table ready for future purposes. All right, so can we go forward now? So guys, next option is the product linking option. So what we're going to do now is we are going to link our Google Ads account with Google Analytics. So that's the first thing which we're going to do. So let's go to Google Ads linking. So guys, since I'm already logged into my Google Ads account side by side, so it has automatically picked up which account I want to link. I'll just show you how it works. So every Google Ads account has its own unique ID. So here you can see on the top right hand side corner, the unique ID for my account is also mentioned, which I have just highlighted. It's 735-692-2490. So let's see if the same ID is reflecting here. So again, you can see it's very much the same ID which was there on our Google Ads page. So I'm just going to click on continue. So enter the name of your ads account. So just select the all website data option and then click on link accounts. Now these are some things which you can do once you have configured your Google Ads account along with your this account, analytics account. So you can see analytics engagement metrics in Google Ads. You can import goals and e-commerce transactions into Google Ads. So for this, I'm going to show you the Motherland Hospital example. So if I take you to the admin page of this website, let's go to goals. So let's see which view has been linked. So you can see one audience has already been created on 9th of May. So I can just use this audience for Google Ads. As you can see here, audience destinations, Google Ads Motherland Hospital, Google Ads account. And audience source is basically all website data, audience definition, all users over the last 30 days. So basically, you can create this type of a remarketing audience if you connect Google Analytics with Google Ads. So I'm going to teach you this step more in detail probably in the next class. But right now, I'm just giving you an overview around this topic. So I hope this audience part is clear to all of you. So coming back, you can even import your goals and e-commerce transactions. So in case if you have created a particular conversion funnel using Google Analytics, then you can straight away import it into your Google Ads account, and in your Google Ads account, you will actually be able to do conversion tracking. So I'll just take you to Motherland Hospital's Google Ads account once to show you how this really works. So guys, This is the ads account for Motherland Hospital. So I'm gonna go to tools and settings. Now under this, let's go to conversions, which is below measurement. So you can see here there are different conversions which have been added. Like you have outbound click appointments, calls from site from phone number on my website, then outbound click book appointment bookings database, different categories. Now all of these have been added using Google Analytics. Even these two, inquiries page view and call from ads. So these are also added using analytics only. So let's look at the details. So I mean, I'll just go into further detail of this later. For the time being, we can just look at this from an overview point of view. Let's see what we have under Google Analytics. Okay, so it has basically taken me to the analytics account. So nothing great here. It's just the regular analytics dashboard that we're getting to see. So here you can see some conversion tracking has been configured in a different view. So this is not the all website data view. It is a copy of the all website data view. So here you can see I have made some conversion tracking. I've set up some conversion tracking parameters. So these parameters can basically be linked with your Google Ads account. So inquiries page visits, as you can see, it is already connected to Google Ads. So you can basically use them as conversion options in your ads account while creating new campaigns. So I hope things are clear so far. So any questions, guys, before we proceed further? Snehal, you will have to use it on a regular basis. So in case, you want to remember all the things by heart, then you will have to consistently use them for quite some time. But trust me, it's not as difficult as it looks. Plus, there is a lot of good documentation, proper support articles, and everything available for this particular module. So I will, don't worry, I will send you some videos also as part of your notes so that you can, just remember all the things step by step. So whenever you're stuck, you can just skip to that particular part of, that video, and you will be able to recall everything. All right, so let's go forward now. So guys, next step is AdSense linking. So AdSense linking is not applicable in my case because it's a new website. There is no Google AdSense account connected to it. So I can't really show you how it's gonna work. But probably in your next class, I'll try to get my hands on a AdSense approved property so I can precisely show you how it works for AdSense also and how you can track, you know, specific data related to your AdSense account. So I'm going to skip this part for the time being. Then you have ad exchange linking. Again, not applicable for most users. So in case if you have an ad exchange account on Google, which is a part of the Google 360 solution suite, so in case you have that option, only then it's going to work for you. So Google ad exchange is again not for beginners, not for people who are just starting out. So basically what you can do is you can just configure your AdX account along with Google Analytics, just how we have configured our Google Ads account. So I'll just show you AdX. So these are some details about the Google Ad Manager. So it says it's the next step in your monetization strategy. It's an exchange, not an ad network. So are you familiar with the concept of an ad exchange? Any clue what an ad exchange means? I'll just give you a little, overview on this topic in case you're not familiar. Anyone who can give us some insight on an ad exchange? Okay. So guys, basically in advertising, there are three properties involved. Three parties, sorry. Just give me a moment. I'll put my laptop on charging. So have you heard the word advertiser, publisher, agency? Have you heard these words before? Okay. So in a typical advertising scenario, there are three parties involved. Number one, you have your advertiser. Now, advertiser is that person who wants to advertise his product. So he's basically the promoter of a product. Then you have the publisher. So publisher is basically some person who is wanting to earn money by promoting an advertiser's product. So a publisher is not an affiliate. An affiliate is someone who will get commission against the sale of the product. But a publisher is a party who's just a mere, you can say, space provider for that advertisement. That person is just providing space for that advertisement on his website. Now, the job of the agency is to basically get the advertising contract from the advertiser and then subcontract, a part of it to the publishers. So, what Google Ads normally does is they help people buy inventory on Google's own platforms and on Google partner platforms also. So basically, all those people who are members of the AdSense program, they can also sell their ad inventory via Google Ads. So Google Ads become the agency in this case, and the advertiser, let's take Motherland Hospital for example. So they will be the advertiser, and let's say if I'm pasting their ads on my website, I will become part of the publishers network, right? So normally the equation between these advertisers and publishers is not transparent. So because there's a middleman involved, which is the agency. So to make the process transparent and simpler, some agencies build an ad exchange. For example, buysellads.com. So on websites like buysellads.com, publishers can directly contact advertisers. Similarly, advertisers can directly contact publishers. And what is Buy-Sell Ads going to do? They are going to make sure that their agreement goes fine. They will act like a mediator and they will charge a fee out of the total agreement. So rather than subcontracting, they are just acting like mediators and taking a small fee from the retainership amount of the publisher. So if I show you some publishers here, for example, let's say we want websites related to the automotive industry. So I'm going to go to publishers. So these are basically important terminologies in media buying. So you need to be aware of all these terms. So that's the reason we're going a little off the road and I'm giving you basic insights on it. So these are some companies which are advertising using buy-sell ads like Firefox, Dribble, MailChimp, DigitalOcean. So I want to show you the publishers. Basically, I think there's something wrong with the server. So looks like they have made few changes to their website. So guys, this is the list which we were trying to look at. So we are going to go to automotive. Now under automotive, these are different websites where you can buy media. So these are all publishers. Suppose if you go to this website known as Pipeburn, let's click on Pipeburn. Okay, so they have given full information about their website, like they are getting 500,000 page views a month and more than 20,000 views in a day. So monthly impressions are about 240,000, which you can get in case you place an advertisement on this website. Now let's look at the types of ads available. So currently they are only giving out the top right square tile ad format, which is like a small square in the sidebar, 125 into 125 pixels wide. So for this, they are charging $295 per month. So currently there are 12 such squares on their website, and 9 of them are available for advertising. So just try to calculate the amount of money this website must be making through ads, even though it's a small website. So they just have like 240,000 impressions. So this is how much you'll have to pay. Now let's look at this website so that I can show you where exactly your ads will be shown. So guys, this is where your ads will be shown. So you can see these are squares in the sidebar, 125 pixels wide, and you can see this advertise here option. So basically for this ad, they are charging 295 US dollars per month. So this is the job of an ad exchange. So I hope it's clear to you now with this example how these ad exchanges work. So similarly, Google also has a ad exchange for users which have attained a certain degree of monetization. So currently it won't apply to all of us because we are just sort of beginning out our journey. But in case if you have a very solid AdSense revenue coming in, let's say a couple hundred thousands of dollars or maybe millions in a year, then you will become a part of that ad exchange. So depends on your ad spend also as an advertiser, how much you are spending. So it depends on that as well. So please confirm if this ad exchange part is clear to all of you. Perfect. So let's come back to analytics now. Now guys, let's come to postbacks. So any clue about postbacks? Anyone who's got a clue about postbacks? All right. So affiliate marketing. Are you familiar with the concept? All right, great. So in affiliate marketing, as all of you must already know, each affiliate gets its own tracking URL. There is a specific link for every affiliate through which basically the affiliate marketing agency gets to know that this particular person has sent us the traffic. For example, if we go to top phones under 20,000. So I'm just opening any one random article. So here you can see there are some links by Amazon. So I'm just gonna click on one of the links. So just look at this code. It says link code equal to OGI, subscription ID equals to XYZ, subscription tag equals to something. These are all basically affiliate links. So this link that you can see here, this is the postback URL. So sometimes what people do is they make use of their postback URL and they configure it with Google Analytics so that they can properly track how much traffic they were able to send on the advertiser's website and how many people they were able to convert on that website. So to get an overview around that concern, they basically configure their postback URLs. So in case you want to track it, you will have to click on add new. Then you have to select your ad network. So currently only these networks are available. So they do not really have an option to add custom links. So suppose if you have an advertisement, if you have an ad account with InMobi, Then you can just select your InMobi account here. Choose your view, choose your conversion type. Suppose you want to track transactions. Next step, you'll have to enter your property ID. So guys, InMobi is basically a mobile advertising platform. So again, it's like a mobile advertising exchange. So if people, those who want to run ads on mobile, they can also use it. People who want to make money from their mobile apps by showing advertisements in their apps, they can also make use of it. So the post-pack part will basically be for people who want to earn money. So suppose if I have a gaming app like Candy Crush, which is monetized using InMobi, then I can just enter my postback URL details, my property ID and everything, and I can just configure it. So this is basically InMobi. So these are the sort of ads which they serve. So they serve video ads like the one which you can see on screen right now. Then they have native ads, non-intrusive native ads. So non-intrusive basically means advertisements which will not cover the entire content. So the content will also keep playing, and the advertisement will also just come cover a part of the screen. Then you have experiential playable ads. So these are games basically which are advertisements. So you can actually play these games. Then you have interactive rich media ads like this one by the Jungle Book. Going forward, you have dynamic carousel ads, very similar to carousel ads on Instagram and Facebook, where you have multiple, carousel cards to showcase different products. High impact interstitial ads, again similar to native carousel ads only. So these are some types of ads which can be run, or which you can even put on your website if you're a publisher. I mean, not on your website, on your mobile app if you're a publisher with InMobi. So to track the data apart from InMobi's own dashboard, if you want to keep a personal track also of everything, then you can just configure your hostback URL, which is basically your affiliate tracking URL, along with your Google Analytics account. Then you have audience definitions. So below this, you can just create audiences. For example, I have already enabled remarketing. So it's asking me how you want to create a remarketing audience. So I'm just want to use it for my Google Ads account also and for analytics also. And then click on enable. Now all the people who are coming to ambrosesolar.in, they will automatically become part of my remarketing audience, because I have mentioned that I'm going to use it for Google Ads and also for analytics. But to configure this step, you need to first enable remarketing. So which was in our previous step here. When you were linking your Google Ads account, it was asking you whether you want to set up remarketing or not. So as soon as you configure it, it gives you this option, create a remarketing audience in analytics. So you can see we have just created it. So you can even set up different parameters. Suppose I don't want to track all users. I want to track only those people who have visited a specific section of my website. Then I can just edit this information. I can set up condition that the page contains For example, let's take for example, I want to cover people who have visited my contact page. So I'm just going to copy the slug of the contact page. So here we go. Just copy this bit. So these are all the pages in fact. So you can just select it from here also. Else you just paste it. So you can add multiple conditions if you want, but I'm not going to do that right now. And then apply the settings, and that will be all. So pretty simple. You'll have to experiment with it more and more. So just take it as a small assignment. Just try to build your remarketing audience using various combinations. So you can just do it after the session is over. Maybe before your next class, just try to build a couple of different remarketing audiences using Google Analytics. So you can try out different combinations. Suppose this condition must apply. Apart from that, one more condition should apply. So these are all the different types of conditions which you can add. Suppose if I go to users, so every person who has just bounced away from my website, I can include exits, people who have exited a specific page. Then you can even set up page views. Totally up to you. Just try it out. I'm not saying that you have to become an expert of it right away, but make sure you try it out so that you can just ask me some qualified questions once you do this by yourself. Maybe in the next class you'll be able to ask me certain questions around it. So apart from this, let's look at dynamic attributes. Okay. So guys, this dynamic attributes part I'm going to skip for now because to understand this better, I will have to show you the existing attributes available in analytics, which we're going to take up in the next class. So I'm going to stop here for today, and this will be all for today's session. So just keep on tracking the basic information right now around your homepage. What sort of traffic you're getting, what is your bounce rate, how many users you're getting, and try to do the remarketing part also, which we were discussing. Just try to create that audience. And in our next class, we're going to learn more about Google Analytics. So that will be all for today. So do you have any questions in mind before we wind up the session? All right, so I'll just explain you the assignment in a bit. So Kirti, what you need to do is you need to go to your Google Analytics account. So this is apart from your your LMS. It's another assignment which I'm giving you. So what you need to do is you need to go to your admin dashboard, and in your admin dashboard you have to first of all link your Google Ads account, and then secondly you need to go to audience definitions, then audiences, and here you have to build a few remarketing audiences. Like I have built one for all the users of my website. You can build it for all users. You can even try to build it for specific pages. Just try making multiple combinations on your own as far as you can get it. And whenever you have doubts, you'll just take them up in the next class, or you can just put them on the LMS as well. Just giving you a small task so that you can experiment. Okay. So guys, I've shared the feedback link also with you in the chat window. Please make sure you fill up your feedback, and that will be all for today. So any other questions apart from this, you can just let me know. All right. So LMS assignments. Can you please give me the link for your LMS for this particular topic? So let's discuss that also, because in my LMS, I wasn't really able to see any assignment for web analytics, but if you can just give me the link that you have received through Digital Vidya for your web analytics module, then I'll be able to give you some clarity on that part as well. So, Kesh, can you give me that link, please, in case you have it? So, let me just go to that LMS once. So, here I was actually trying to look at the web analytics module, but it's somehow not present. Meher, it will show you real-time analytics first. I mean, instantaneously it starts showing you the real-time analytics. But for proper data to start coming onto your website, it takes 24 hours to get configured. So if you check now, probably you'll be able to see data from yesterday, or maybe tomorrow you'll be able to see data from today. So that's how it works. But real-time data is instantaneously visible. So guys, I don't see any assignments here, so maybe I'll just confirm with your coordinator, and in the next week you can just finish the assignment for the previous week as well. So don't worry, we'll take it up. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining in, and see you next Tuesday. Make sure you fill up the feedback link. It's right there in the chat window. All right, my pleasure, Kash, and thanks for joining once again. All right, Kirti, everyone, have a good night, and see you on next Tuesday.